the stuff of fantasy. Or are they? Who wouldn't want to soar through the sky like Superman?
Flying through the air is a feeling that's almost too hard to explain.
Or harness the strength of 10 men?
This thing is incredibly powerful and it's way cool.
Ready to take a flying leap? Or swim through the water like Aquaman?
It makes you a super swimmer.
Today, technology can make anyone a superhero. So grab your capes. Now, Superhuman on Modern Marvels. Inventor Jeff J is advancing our quest for superpowers by putting a new spring in our steps. His brainchild, Velocity Motion Stilts, is the next best thing to Steve Austin's bionic legs.
A Velocity Motion Stilt is basically built for momentum. It accentuates what the human body already does in a direction. The Velocity Motion Stilt basically is designed so that you can perform in it. Just start by, just put all your weight on the one spring. Just keep it centered over top of this one spring.
Jeff's clientele consists mainly of acrobats and stilt performers, like Lucas Mendonça, who jump at the chance to pay the $2,000 price for one pair.
It is really fun to jump out because, like, looks like you're on the moon, you know, that feeling like it's really good.
Using the stilts, Jay has been able to sustain a speed of 23 miles an hour, the same pace as Olympic-class sprinters covering the same distance. And he's leaped as high as 16 feet.
This is definitely the Lamborghini of stilts right here.
These high-flying stilts have only two moving parts, but they masterfully harness the user's weight to generate the stilt's power.
The real energy comes from these springs that are located in the back. So if he bounces on 2 feet, you can see the flexion in the spring right in here. Okay, if he bounces on 1 foot, you can see how the spring loads a lot more. And the difference being is that all of his body weight now is on one spring, so it's easier to blow through the preload and get to the actual load. So if he goes back to 2 feet, now he has to bounce twice as hard to get the same spring.
Much like a pogo stick, each stilt channels the weight of the user, pushing down the spring and loading it with potential energy. As the spring recoils, it releases that energy and pushes the user up.
The more pressure that you put into the springs, the more return you're going to get out of the springs.
And that returning pressure can be as much as 900 pounds per square inch. That's 6 times greater than the force of water spewing from a fire hose. Containing energy that high demands super strong working materials.
The material that we use is high-grade aluminum. The spring typically is made out of E-glass, which is kind of glass that they used to make old helicopter blades out of. It has a huge amount of pliability.
Jay says learning to run and jump on these super kangaroo legs is easier than you might think.
The normal learning curve is about 10 minutes to be able to just kind of walk around, be comfortable with a small jog, some little hops, things like that. What you have to do is get yourself back in the mindset of, I'm just a tall person, and I need to take strides and work like a tall person biomechanically. And then I also have to make sure that my focus is around, not at the ground, because typically you don't walk around looking straight down. Why are you looking down? That's one. Can't help it.
Look too often at the ground, and that's where you'll end up. And once you're there, how do you get back up?
One leg here. What I typically do is just teach people to get on their elbows, straddle their legs slightly, and kind of walk themselves up and then stand up. Push! He's up!
In the beginning, it's really like awkward walking because like your body doesn't respond. But after you walk and have some help, you start feeling really fine walking around, and you just want to like try to jump higher and higher, see what you can do, how high you can get.
Go.
Jeff.
But Jeff's not stopping with these super stilts. He's envisioning an enhanced version that won't make the user work so hard. His current model requires a 100% effort to run at 23 miles per hour. His new one would get you up to speed without even raising your pulse rate.
This will allow you to use 20%, 25% of your energy to run 25 miles an hour. So basically, the stilt is going to be able to run for you.
As Jeff advances our quest for super-powered legs,